Yeah.
New cases for everything. Cases, homes, whatever it is. So,
There's a block right there this whole time.
of course, they're just charging blocks. I know, right? Honestly, really. Jordan, welcome. So, and I want to welcome our listeners back to the Real Talk podcast, the real estate podcast. We have Jordan Smith here today.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fellow agent. He and I came on around similar times. He really, I don't know about your business. It's honestly, tell me about your business, Jordan, and actually how you got to this point.
So, long story short, I have a history. My career is community development, right? And I guess you can say that is how I segued into real estate. Community development, community organizing around the city of Pittsburgh, and towards the end of that, really specifically for advocacy for equitable development, right? So, being involved in various conversations inside of the public realm, private funders, public dollars, community, CDFIs, all the various different community development corporations around the city, just being involved in those conversations for real estate development at a larger scale, right? You think I have been privy to some conversation for developments of 4 units all the way up to 100 units. And most times in my work, it's public dollars, it's public housing, it's right affordable housing, mixed income housing. So the conversations around real estate were at such a large scale and really understanding how real estate influences living across the city in general, right? Really learning about how intertwined with public organizations development is. And so that is really what kind of pushed me into real estate where I am now as a practicing agent.
Got it. So it's kind of a natural progression of things. So I guess I don't. Is there like a defining moment where it was like the light switch turned on? It was like, this is like what I want to do for my job.
Um, I wouldn't say there was a defining moment, except that it sort of fits in with my theme, right? So for me, talking about community development, I'm a person of service, right? I feel like a part of my life's calling is to be of service to my people, right? From Pittsburgh, I'm from the east end of Pittsburgh, Lincoln Leamington neighborhood specifically, right? And so I've worked in various different neighborhoods. And so I'm just a person of service. And then transitioning that, so real estate is a twofold thing for me. Real estate seems like the land of opportunity while also being able to be of service, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Um, I guess so. Is that like your niche then? Is just like community development in that sense? I know we have a ton of investment properties here in Pittsburgh. I know that we're consistently rated top 5 in the country for development. And how is that affecting your business as well? Like how often, like, give it to me straight, Jordan.
Pittsburgh is a good investment market, right? I feel like Pittsburgh, and all right, so we can talk about the greater Pittsburgh metro statistical area.
We could talk about the city, we could talk about the area.
when we're
Yeah.
talking about data,
Right.
right? I mean, we can talk about how our office here located in Squirrel Hill is considered a city office, but understanding data of Pittsburgh, the Greater Pittsburgh Metropolitan Statistical Area is the full name of it,
That's a
right?
mouthful.
Right, but there is something to offer for everyone. That I truly believe that as an investor, as a person who's looking for your forever home, single family home purchaser, I believe Pittsburgh and our general area, our 11, 13 surrounding counties have something to offer everybody, whether you're looking for country living, if you're looking for something quiet where you have a quarter mile, a mile between your neighbors, or if you want something a little more in the city, a little something more concentrated. So I think that that's a good thing about this particular part of Pennsylvania, right? I'll say Western Pennsylvania.
Right.
Eastern part of the state, not so much. It's a little bit more dense. It's a lot more city. You know, I mean, it has its
Yeah.
spaces, but Western PA. So investment really, that I took the long road to say that I feel like investment real estate is really good here because even of the trends that I've been seeing, and I'm sure that you've been experiencing as well,
Oh, yeah.
when we're dealing with single families, while lending has for sure become more strict,
Mhm.
investment real estate still keeps a certain pace,
Right.
right? Like working with clients who are purchasing multifamily units, working with clients who are purchasing 4 plus, 1 to 4, but even 4 plus, right? We've been getting beat up on appraisals and things like that, but I wouldn't say that there is such a the length of time that we're experiencing right now for single families, right? There's people
Mhm.
who have single families who put them on the market March, April, May last year who might still be sitting, or
Absolutely.
they sold them, but they took a loss. Just where we are
Right.
right now in the real estate market, specifically in Pittsburgh, right? Or the real estate cycle, specifically in Pittsburgh. But I've noticed that in my, especially last year, investment real estate still moves. It might not be moving like how it was pre-COVID, COVID, at 30-day close, we're coming in cash. Like that's sort of the norm now. People have made that the norm. People are
Right.
like, okay, you have cash, but because we can't really control that period still, especially if it's a 4 plus
Right.
appraisals and things like that coming through. So I say that to say that but Pittsburgh is a really good investment market, I believe. My clients believe that as well.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I moved here, I had no idea about Pittsburgh, and it's like the most underrated city in the country because there's something for everybody. There's everything from $1 million mansions down to like 900 square feet.
You got it. You
So,
can pick something up for 40, 50 cash and make a
right.
good return. Or like you said, we have luxury
Yeah,
available.
we have luxury available. We run the gamut on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess what common mistakes do you see sellers making now in the quote unquote quiet times?
Mhm.
We're never really quiet here in Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Like we have medical, we have education, natural resources, there's always people coming and going. But what are you seeing in the market as we gear up for 2025 spring market and throughout the rest of the year?
Specifically speaking to the first part of your question, like what mistakes am I seeing sellers make?
Yeah.
Not trusting their team, right? Like as a seller, if you are hiring a realtor, you're positioning these specific people around you to help achieve a certain goal, and these people act as your advisors. These people are, but we're real estate professionals. We are professionals, right?
Yeah.
Like most real estate agents should study their market, should know the data, right? At least have the availability to understand how whatever property that they are focused on, how that property will perform in its market, right? Sub-market, macro market, I feel like you should have an understanding. And so as a seller, and I'm maybe specifically talking about sales price, listing price,
Right.
right? Because especially right now, and let's focus on single family.
Yeah.
A seller of a single family, of course, as an agent, we as the listing agent, we have a duty to our clients to protect their bottom line, right? Protect their goals and interests.
Yeah.
Also being able to advise them on the best way possible for their house to perform for the sale.
Right.
And so if a seller doesn't trust that, then it makes it challenging for us to do our job and achieve the goal successfully. And so I have witnessed with a few of my clients that very thing to where, you know, there's give and take, right? But I feel like at the end of the day, if I'm able to present reasoning to you through numbers and the numbers make sense, then to achieve the goal, we should be able to make a logical choice of which way to go. And I see a lot of sellers right now, holding on to the same expectations of a previous period in the real estate cycle,
Right.
which is unhealthy because you will not perform the best.
No.
And so people are literally sitting on property.
I agree with you
that are on the market.
exactly. So, I mean, I get that. How do you feel about people investing in Pittsburgh and not even actually being in Pittsburgh?
It's the game, long-term investing, right? Like, I mean, if people are unable to find the type of return that they want where they are, and they have that money availability, they're going to do it. So again, I go back to the team, right? Like I work with clients who are both here in Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
people who are out of Pittsburgh. And the people who are out of Pittsburgh understand the necessity of having a good team, having a good property manager, having a good realtor, having a good title team, right? Like having an understanding even of the city that you're in, understanding the landlord laws and things like that. So surrounding yourself with a good team. So I feel like as an investor who understands those and takes those considerations, I would say yes, please invest in Pittsburgh because why not?
Right, exactly. It's a great market. What do you say to your buyers who might be coming in first time? They think they see that real estate investment could be a vessel or a vehicle for long-term wealth. What do you say to your first time buyers who come in and have no idea how the process works?
Take your time. Don't give in to the outside pressures, right? Everyone has an opinion. And so you'll hear a lot of people say, if it's right for you, if it makes sense for you, then make the choice. I believe that that is a proper decision. If you made the decision to step into real estate and purchase a home, and you have been able to do all the necessary things across your checklist, right? You have your finances in order, whether you're single or you're a pair, you both have your finances in order, you as an individual have your finances in order, right? Like I would say don't make a rushed choice when going into real estate, even if
Ab-
it's a single family.
Absolutely. I think in any real estate, I think if you're gonna make a rush decision, you're bound to make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And really a mistake in real estate could cost you hundreds, even thousands of dollars sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I guess, so going back to, you know, being a seller, how do you then find, what do you look for in your sellers that makes you say, hey, I want to work with this person?
I might say a balance, right? Like someone who there's all kinds of sellers, right? If you have a seller who understands, and I say understands, maybe understands where you are as a realtor, right? If I'm able to speak technical to a seller, we're able to kind of meet that balance. But even not, right? If I have to kind of maybe change my vocabulary a bit or change the way that I present certain information for a seller to be able to receive it, if that seller is able to receive it, if we're able to build rapport, if we're able to build trust, because we're entering it, of course we're entering into a business relationship, but at the end of the day, during this time, I'm going to learn the seller's going to learn me, we're going to be making decisions together, we're a team, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it needs to be a balance. When I go into listing meetings or I go into potential client meetings, I honestly, we talk data, we talk numbers and things, but I really like to see if I'm a good balance for you and you're a good balance for me. For me, it's never automatic because I want to be able to perform my best for someone. And I don't want to put myself in a situation where it's harming you and harming me. Now we've wasted time and money.
Right, exactly. And since we're acting as their agent, it's essentially I tell my clients, like, I am you, you are me. Like, I'm your fiduciary. There's gonna be parts of you that you don't want to see the light of day, but I'm gonna have to see them so I can do the best job for you that I can.
Yeah.
Um,
Trust, I say, I think.
and trust is 100% is part of the game and relationships.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Relationships for sure.
Right.
I agree with that.
Relationships are huge. What do you see for 2025 in our market?
Hmm.
I know it's like that, and like what are the rates? Like
Mhm.
two most common questions we hear all the time.
Um, so I particularly have been studying the 18-year real estate cycle, right? Trying to pinpoint where in that real estate cycle we seem to be nationally and we seem to be.
Can you explain that a little bit more? The 18-year real estate cycle?
Yeah, so I mean, just as a cycle, right? There are periods of increase and decrease. And again, I'm just recently studying this because
Right.
as I'm learning my craft more and as I'm learning how to understand real estate, right? If you, especially with working with investor clients, understanding how an investor might be thinking about a particular transaction, it's very helpful for you to be able to be more proactive as agent, right? Instead of letting things happen or setting people saying point and shoot, like, hey, here, I like this, I like this.
Right.
You then become, hey, I think this is a good place to invest. This is a good place. So so in that studying, I have become privy to the 18-year real estate cycle. into which that period, which we, it talks about real estate bubbles, it talks about real estate sell-offs, right? All of these different periods along that 18-year cycle. And so where we are right now, I'd say in the last few years, right, we're starting to see the top, especially in, I'm not gonna say especially in Pittsburgh, right? Because Pittsburgh is appreciating.
I feel like Pittsburgh is its own animal with regards to the national picture.
Pittsburgh is appreciating very fast. I believe we have larger appreciation on average than national.
Yeah,
average.
national average.
Yeah. But again, that's all counting the metro area. That's 11 counties, not just Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh greater area
Right.
is 11 counties, not just our city. So that's also neat, because when compared to other larger metros, if it's just the city of Pittsburgh limits, we wouldn't stand a chance,
No.
right? And data wise.
Right.
So I kind of went on a tangent to your question. Oh, what do I see our future? I see, right, single family homes. I still see a lot of people on hold. I don't foresee so many people rushing to sell their homes to the market. Again, affordability.
They got to go somewhere too.
Right, unless they're a downsizer, unless they're the top generation of the boomers and things like those people who might be moving to condos, those people who might be moving to smaller size, people who might be selling to stay maybe in a different, go to a different area, but stay same home size and things like that. I don't see a rush because of affordability, right? Like where rates where they are, even with the rate cuts that have happened, interest rates themselves were around 7%.
Right.
Right. And so when you think about what affordability that means for people, even first-time home buyers, the level of affordability. Right now in Pittsburgh, affordability for single family purchases I've seen are between, if I'm being 100% real, 150 and 210 at the top.
Yeah, at the very top.
Really, that 170 to 190 is a super sweet spot. I've been seeing markets that I wouldn't even imagine where single family homes have been moving. I've been seeing them move between 170 and 195. They're moving much quicker than 225, 230, 330, right? They're moving much quicker.
Right. Yeah. And that's important. And as a seller is to know how to price and having a real estate professional price your home accordingly. I mean. Yeah.
People who need to price in that 300, 400, right? In that range, they're not going to be rushing to sell their home right now because those homes have larger average days on market. Like those prices. I'm not saying that it's not selling, but again, I have clients and friends who, and we're talking flips, we're talking homes that they've moved
right
that have been put on the market at the beginning of the year last year, and towards the end they either stayed there or they took a loss, right? And I think that speaks to, again, this is I'll tell you a specific example of why I've been wanting to study the 18-year real estate cycle.
Right.
Is I have a client right now who has a listing. This was an expired listing, by the way, that I got.
Right.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I know you're the animal when it comes to that.
I love expired listings, but it was an expired listing, and the listing was at 240,000. And I contacted the seller. Long story short, we met at the property, had a conversation, and he let me know that he had the property under contract for 240. And for whatever reason, it didn't go through. Right, there was nothing outstanding wrong with the building. It's a beautifully redone single family home in the neighborhood of Swissvale here in Pittsburgh. 240 on a D street, right? In Swissvale, right? Swissvale can go from D to C. If you go to Swiss Home Park, right? Maybe C plus B-ish, sort of, right? And so this is in a CD part of Swissvale. So 240. Single family, detached, directly next door. While we were on the market at 240, sold for 180. They started at 230.
Yeah.
They sold for 180. Directly across the street.
That $50,000 hit.
Directly across the street while we're on the market, a single family attached started at around the same, I believe, like 210, 215 or something like that. They ended up selling for 175. All of this happening while we're on the market at 240. We are down to 220 or 225, I think, right now.
Okay.
So the market changed that quickly, right? Like, or not that quickly, but he entered the market at a very specific point in the real estate cycle that we started to see drastic change
Right.
in what is affordable. Because that house is very well worth its 240 if we're talking about the quality of renovation, but
Mhm.
the numbers aren't lying right now. And we're still on the market,
Right.
right? Because people are seeing, I promise you, this house has averaged 2 showings a week since we've been on the market, and no one has pulled the trigger. So, right, we're fighting numbers, we're fighting math at this point. So,
Mhm.
when I see what is the future of Pittsburgh, what I've been seeing is that trend. And so I started by saying I don't see a lot of people selling. I mean, I still see people who are anxious and wanting to buy,
Right.
but what is the affordability? Even flippers, right? People who are trying to get a certain return at a certain price point.
Mhm.
Are there Pittsburgh properties old?
Yeah.
Right. And so to squeeze a margin, like to buy a property, fix it up, and sell it at 190, 200, 210, and make the margin that you want to make or even relatively close,
Yeah.
that's a lot slimmer than what it has previously been, even in a year or two ago, where people were able to make those 30 and 40% returns. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. At least for me. I mean, I'm in the business. So,
Mhm.
do you see home prices? I know obviously they're rising a lot faster than the rest of us. Yeah, all of us who own real estate here in Pittsburgh love it. But do you think for the first time home buyers and people who are just coming out of college or people who are coming here for the first jobs, like whether it be tech, whatever it is, do you see them being able to afford a home?
No, I mean, it depends, right? It depends. It depends on, so we talk about first time home buyers. It depends on what their, if a first time home buyer is a recent grad student
Right.
or a college kid who might not have tons of cash available for down payments. So what is their affordability levels, right? Are they in a W-2 job? What is their income? What is their debt? And then what um what are they going to be able to afford, right? What is their price range? So are there lots of homes in that affordable range that we just spoke about versus are they priced out of a specific market, you know?
Right.
So first time home buyers, are there availability of programs at their assistance to help with down payment costs, closing costs, and things like that? So that's why I said it depends.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is it going to be easy? No.
I mean, I think buying and selling a home is not easy. This is not for like the fan of this is not the fan of art. Our job is, my wife is like works in the hospital and it's like you want to talk about stress. There's that, and but it's like like our job's stressful, but at the same time, just like you look at the future, like we have kids, we both have kids,
Mhm.
and just making it work and seeing for the future.
Right.
I mean, where does it go from here?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I think though, if again, I have seen success even so far in these margins that continue to be slimmer and slimmer. I see, going back to one of your original questions when you talked about what is a mistake that I see. Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good.
Can we pause it or no? That's
I'll
not a
edit
thing.
it out.
Because I don't see my child. Going back to your original question, one of your original questions about what are a mistake that I see, I think that an advantage people can have or something that will give them a higher success rate is really pricing a property. If we're specifically talking about sellers, for
Right.
sellers, I would say trust your team, right? You hire a realtor for a specific reason. Hire a knowledgeable, trustworthy realtor, someone who studies their craft, someone who studies the market. Price your property well, whether it's multi, whether it's single. Price your property well, you'll see more success than someone else. It's that simple because there are so many poorly priced properties,
Yeah.
right? And I've been seeing literally, we have our alerts and things like that. I've been seeing 30,000 reduction,
Oh yeah.
50,000 reduction. I've been seeing huge chunks of money that people are leaving on the table
Yeah.
because poorly priced.
It's gone the wind, and you wasted that time as well.
Time is money in this
I mean,
Open
it's
conversation.
true, honestly.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I guess for this upcoming season, what do you have in store for your teams that you're working with?
Well, and like I mentioned earlier, expires is my jam.
Yeah.
So in my first year, I really focused on expireds, FISBOs kind of as well. But expired is my jam, and I'm going to keep doing that just because I have a skill with being able to talk to people,
Yeah.
right? Like I tell my brother this all the time, being prepared gives you room to be confident. And so if I am prepared by being able to have informed conversations about the market, if I'm able to have informed conversations about the market performance, about how this specific property can perform, if I know that I'm well informed and I'm only right, I'm not one of those people to talk about things I don't know.
No.
And that's one thing I tell people. People ask me all the time, like, when you're on the phone, how are you handling these conversations and things? I tell people, don't try to talk about everything under the sun, especially if you're not. So with expired,
Right. Yeah.
If you're not a cold calling person and getting on the phone already makes you nervous, why would you not set yourself up to win? Set yourself up to win by, prior to that phone call, write down 3 points that you're confidently talking about and understand those. And then also have the confidence and comfortability to tell someone, let me get the correct answer for you or a whole answer for you, and I'll follow back up with you.
Right.
One, you as a person should, it shows that you are okay with admitting where you need to fill that gap a little
Right.
bit.
No one knows everything.
Right. But then also it gives you a reason to follow up.
Oh yeah.
Right. When you're thinking about the consistency of needing to follow up, if you're literally going to follow up with someone. So I'd say that is my thing. That's going to be my thing. Expires are going to be my thing constant.
Right.
For sure. But I'm also looking to, a lot of people in this business preach the success of open houses.
Right.
And so, I've been being introduced to a lot of people who do open houses really well and have successes at open house.
The
I'm a
event.
competitive person. So
The weekend event at the open house.
I'm going to be the best.
Right.
And so I'm going to start doing open houses this year. And but I also, I did have success last year at open houses. I met a few clients at open houses that
Right.
turned into business for. So I understand that. So that is the thing. I'm going to do expires, but then I'm also going to be focusing on creating new business through open houses. So that's
Excellent.
going to be.
That's great.
What about you? What are you focused on?
I mean, I'm focused on, I would love to do more open houses, for sure, always. I mean, I love getting out in the community and meeting people, talking to them, trying to help them solve their problems. I view us as a resource and a tool for consumers who don't know about the real estate market. I mean, say this, and like, I bought a house, I had no idea how it happened, but
We're just having to.
I know.
Once you become a parent, life just kind of happens.
It just happens. So I made it a goal to learn more about the process and said, hey, like, if this is some value that I could bring to someone else to help them achieve their real estate dreams and wishes, I would love to be that tool and be able to help you out.
Cool.
But I don't know everything. Hence why I'm talking to people like yourself.
Sure. No, and that's good. Even off camera, you and I have these kinds of conversations. We talk about, hey, what's happening in your week? What's happening with your clients? And I think that's good too, right? When I talk about the team aspect, even us being able to be sharing space in here, being able to have conversations about what we're experiencing, what's happening with our clients, lessons. We have our group chat,
right,
and things like that. I think that is important to me as well. Being able to build community amongst your colleagues,
right?
Because that, I'm an iron sharpens iron type of person.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think that helps agents have a higher success rate too, because we're then sharing experiences so that we can,
yeah, get down to business.
Exactly.
What are you worried about this year? Do you think there's going to be enough people coming off the sidelines to sell their homes to warrant? I know that there's an inventory shortage nationwide.
I'm worried about not having two brains. There is plenty of business, right? I feel like all the things that we just talked about, right? We talked about sellers not selling, buyers not affordability, but above all else, right? Even if the pace changes, real estate moves.
Oh yeah.
Right. And investment real estate has its own pace, because investment real estate, multifamily, 6-unit, 7-unit, 8 units have a different pace than single families, have a different pace than mixed use, have a different pace than retail. Right. And so real estate moves. It just, again, where in that cycle are we? Right. So understanding where we are in the cycle, understanding how our sub-market is affected by the positioning of that cycle, and then finding where the business is in that cycle. And so that's how I like adaptability, right? I have this tattoo that says only the strong survive.
Yeah.
And so if you're able to adapt and create opportunity, that's my thing. I don't really like to sit and let things happen to me.
Right.
And so I feel like amongst all those things, all those challenges that we said, they're just that, they're just challenges. They're not impossible.
Yeah.
So if we understand what the challenges are, then we can kind of formulate a plan and maneuver around them.
Right.
And honestly, that's why I like expires. That's why I like expires, because while I'm still in the business of overcoming all those other challenges,
Mhm.
there's a flow there with expires that I know I can generate
Right.
consistent leads. Right. So that is a space that needs to remain constant, because while I'm going through the ebb and flow of everything else affected by the real estate market,
Yeah.
expires need some help. And what am I here to do? Help.
Help. We're here to, that's why we're in this, is we're here to help.
Exactly. And let me tell you that, sorry, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I come with a genuine approach, right? And I tell people always say, well, what do you say when you get these calls? And people say, people always preach, we watch our YouTube gurus and
Yeah.
like that, and people always preach, well, hey, I was working in the area, and I don't say that. That's very generic, right? I let people know, because, and this is true, this is what the skills that I have developed. When I call people, I let them know I specialize in helping people who did not have success the first few times on the market. Right. I was not working in the area. I'm
Right.
behind my desk on my computer.
Yeah.
Found the property. So
Right.
let me keep it real with you.
Yeah.
So let me keep it real with you. Let me not play. And so listen, I'm calling. That's what I told people on the voicemail. I'm calling because I found your property. I saw you were on the market, but it did not successfully sell. So I would like to have a conversation, maybe learn a bit more about what that experience and that first performance was like. See if there's any value that I can add, and let's get this to the finish line. That's my entry. Right. In one way.
Right. Yeah. In so many words. Yeah.
That's my entry.
That's great. I know I got, what's your favorite neighborhood to work for, whether it's investment or, I know you're over in McKees Rocks a lot, but you're from the East End. What do you like to work? What do you see as like the next big, like say like Lawrenceville, how it was 10 years ago?
I particularly think I like the Hill District. Everyone likes it.
Yeah.
Right. The Hill District is sentimental to me for many reasons, right? I did a lot of growing as a community development professional there, but also the Hill District is one of the most urban neighborhoods of Pittsburgh.
Right.
Right. It's central, it's literally footsteps to downtown.
Yeah.
You can walk to downtown, you can walk to Oakland. The Hill District is sort of expansive because it touches downtown. You have uptown, which don't let people fool you. Uptown is the Hill District.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes all the way Lower Hill, Middle Hill, Upper Hill, which all the way to Shinley Farms, which on the other side touches Oakland.
Right.
So you have a community that touches downtown to Oakland to Polish Hill.
Polish Hill, yeah.
And the Hill District has all the offerings, right? It has multis, it has single, it has affordable, it has middle class, right? And the Hill District traditionally is a traditionally Black neighborhood, but if we're, it is traditionally a melting pot.
Right.
Right. Traditionally, the Hill District had immigrants and everybody who, right? We can go into the history of it, but real estate wise, I think that's a good space. You talked about the eds and meds, right? And what I see going, again, finding opportunity as a real estate investor, I think that if people are looking to invest, not just single family, the Hill District specifically, because you have students and you have nursing students, you have nurses, right?
Right.
So I have folks who have boarding houses, who have multi-unit properties, but have them, it's an Allegheny County Health Department permit that you can get to operate as a boarding house, which operates sort of under the same title like a hotel. And in that sense, I have a guy who has a triplex. Each triplex has two units have 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. 1 unit has 4 bedrooms, 1 bath. And he rents out each individual room. They share the kitchen, they share the bathroom, they share the common space.
Right.
Wi-Fi is provided in the building. They don't pay for utilities. They pay month to month each month, right? And so thinking about opportunity, our eds and meds, thinking about transient nurses, thinking, right, you think about your folks who are only here for shorter term periods. I think that boarding house can solve a lot of affordability problems in general, right? We can talk about homelessness and things like that, but specifically staying on task here, that is a tool, I think, that if you're trying to like increase your bottom line, that's a boost on your bottom line.
Right.
And for somebody who is into affordability, affordable housing, somebody who's into kind of more social impact with their money, I think that's also a tool to do that, right? People who are experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity, right? As
right.
yeah. So I think that it's important to understand the tools and how that we can use real estate to start to affect other aspects of living in general. But again, that's my community development brain, and that will forever remain constant. I'm always forever thinking about how do we make living affordable, right? Make affordable living
Right.
affordable again.
Right, honestly.
I'm making a t-shirt that says that.
You should,
Make affordable
honestly.
housing affordable.
Honestly. So I guess one last question about this. I know I've spoken with, I mean, I work with some investors as well. They want to come in and jack up rents. They want to buy, a currently filled investment property and they want to come in and jack up rents. This is America and everyone has the right to do that. Do you think that it will get to the point over like the next, say, 5-10 years that they essentially price everyone out?
I don't think that, depending on the market, I don't think it takes that long. Like it's going to take, so if we're
Right.
talking 5-10 years
Yeah.
from now,
From today. 6 months?
I mean, so 5-10 years from now, we'll be in a completely different space in the real estate cycle, right? Which also affects rents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just understanding that
Right.
completely. But right, if we're talking about how rents are continuously increasing right now, people are doing the process of what you're saying. I am actively watching people be priced out of specific areas, right?
Right.
If we're talking Pittsburgh specific and we're talking about rental properties, there are spaces, and we can focus on Garfield as
Yeah.
a topic, a case study
Right.
for the last 10 years. Garfield, East Liberty surrounding.
Yeah.
Right. Garfield, East Liberty, Larmer surrounding.
Yeah.
That has been a very specific space to where you've been seeing people priced out.
Right.
Because when you're talking about priced out as a consumer being priced out, I can't afford this rent. Where am I going to go? All the concentrated rent inside the city is way too affordable, so I have to push out further.
Right.
From a landlord's perspective, if I'm thinking, for me, if I'm thinking the whole picture, if I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I want to buy this building, I want to jack up rents because I need to make X amount of dollars. Who am I renting to, right? If I'm like, I need affordable to say affordable, or I care about the existing residents of this space, I'm buying this building, blah blah blah. Who's going to be renting?
Yeah.
Right? Understanding who's going to be renting. What is their disposable income? What is the, like what money do they have available? If we're going by the rule of thirds that everyone preaches, right? Spend more than a third of your income on your housing, right? What income? And okay, we'll talk about the Hill District again.
Yeah.
The Hill District, at the time when I got this data, maybe a few years ago, right? An individual's discretionary spending in the Hill District was $17,000, between like $12,000 and $17,000. What can you afford with that being your discretionary funds? $17,000, right?
Yeah.
Like, just
that's
so again, understanding who's going to be my renter. So if I'm coming in somewhere and 90% of the housing over here is $800 a month, and I come in and I'm 1,300, 90% of the people can't afford that.
Right.
So I mean, I don't think it's going to take 5 to 10 years for people to get priced out. We're actively watching it happen in specific areas.
So the specific areas that you are seeing the trends move that way, do you think that those people a lot of times can afford a mortgage? No.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, people who are trying to think about somebody who's trying to stay under $1,300 a month in rent,
right?
With no responsibilities of owning a house, right? No insurance, none of the things that come along, no taxes, none of the things that come along with
homeownership.
Right. With a $1,300 mortgage. And so those people who are trying their earnest to cap with rent, and they're like, well, it's not how it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
No, cost of money's gone up.
Exactly. And that's what people are not understanding. That's when we're talking about what are rates, that's what we're essentially talking about. How much is this money that I'm borrowing going to cost?
Exactly. Yeah. The cost of using money.
Exactly. And so no, those people who can't afford a $1,200 rent surely can't afford.
No, they can't do a mortgage.
Right.
Right. Makes sense. What else?
Man, I mean,
what do you see the future of real estate in America?
It's a cycle. Real estate is cyclical.
That's what.
Right. And so and that's where my brain is at, because like I mentioned earlier, I like to be proactive. Right. And I think that any savvy real estate professional, whether you're a licensed realtor, whether you're a person who invests on your own, whether you're in a group, whatever, as a real estate professional, it's advantageous to be proactive instead of reactive. And so understanding what the cycle performance is, and then understanding where we are, right? Once you're able to recognize the situation, the environment, you're like, okay, I have an understanding about it now. And so now how do you use that to turn it into proactive, to be proactive? So it's like, okay, we're at this point in the cycle. So now you're able to anticipate, because history repeats itself. If we're talking about data and numbers, right? This isn't just a hunch.
Yeah.
This is something that has repeatedly proven itself to be over and over and over again. And so at that point, if we're able to identify where we are, then we're able to be proactive on what's to come. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. That's where my focus is, understanding the real estate cycle so that I can be proactive at any point.
Right.
That's what I feel like that's the future, because it's just going to happen regardless. And instead of letting it happen to you, create your flow inside of it. Does that make sense?
That makes
I don't know if I answered even
no, that makes sense, because now we're seeing, especially in our line of work, this is the dawn of AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes. I would love to actually increase my usage of that for my business as well.
Right. So do you think that the use of AI in real estate, for whatever reason it is, you think that gives, a skewed view to some people who aren't versed in how a real estate transaction works, or how,
from a buyer's perspective, or from like
just in general?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are misinformed about real estate processes in general.
Yeah.
And as a real estate professional, you spoke on something earlier about being a resource. And I think being a knowledgeable resource is important, because it's our duty to, this is something I've learned too, especially if something, first of all, we learned this as a child, never assume.
Right.
Right. My father used to have a saying.
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah. We've all heard it. Yeah.
And so never assume, because I, even as an adult, have made the mistake of assuming in real estate, right? Because
Yeah.
if someone owns real estate, don't assume they understand everything. I'm actually going through a transaction right now with this guy, and he owns real estate, but he was like, what do you mean I gotta pay transfer taxes?
Yeah.
So never assume. I'm like, but you purchased the building.
Yeah.
Right. So never assume that your client, I go into something never assuming that the client has a full understanding, right? I ask, I say that, you own this building, what is your level of understanding and comfortability? But I prepare to break down the entire thing to them. And so I think that is when you talk about as an agent and finding a buyer or seller and seeing if we work together, once I'm able to lay out something, what is our level of understanding together, that I'm your resource? What is your comfortability with asking questions, right? How am I able to communicate effectively to my audience so they could do what they need to do?
Right.
So I think that that's a thing too. People are misinformed about real estate transactions, about what it takes and how the process goes. And, people are very stuck in this is, we have this amount of days, this amount of this. Of course, it's laid out in your agreement, but pivots get made. There are ebbs and flows in the transaction, and it's our job to manage that appropriately.
Right.
And so, as a real estate agent, if you don't know what happens in the real estate cycle, the whole thing is messed up.
Get out.
The whole thing is messed up.
Right.
Because, that's your job. That's our job, to manage the transaction. We're technically, our job is to manage the people.
Right.
Right.
And the emotions and everything that goes into a real estate transaction.
Yeah. The systems are in place. Now we are just managing the people inside of those systems.
Right.
You talk about relationships. That's what I mean when I say, are we a good fit? Because how are we going to operate inside the system together? What are we about to do?
Right.
Got it. That's how I feel.
Thanks for the real talk, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me, man. This is cool.
Of course, man.
Part 2 or something.
Absolutely.
This is cool.
I'll be all for it. Anything else you want to add?
No, man, keep it up. You and I talk a lot. I appreciate the accountability and partnership that we have. You checking on me, checking on you. I appreciate your mindset. And I like this. This is cool. You're building an audience, building a community, informing people, being a resource. So hats off to you, my friend. This is great. Keep going.
Appreciate you, dude. So thanks. This is Jordan Smith, Howard Hanna Real Estate, Squirrel Hill. And this was Real Talk.
It is. Thanks for having me, dude. This was a good conversation.